Bruce, I have news for you. I am a sinner. And I have 2 confessions to make right off the bat. When Pastor Jim called to ask me to do this, I said no. Sin number 1. But then the Holy Spirit beat on me, so I called him back to say I changed my mind. The only other time the Holy Spirit beat me up like this was in September of 1978, when the minister of my church then called to ask me if I would help with the confirmation class. Guess what my answer was? No. When I went to bed that night, the Holy Spirit beat me up to a pulp. At 3 a.m, I finally surrendered, and I said, Lord, if another opportunity to serve you comes up, I will say yes. 10 months later, our long-awaited first child was born. I'm 77 now, and I don't expect another Kulaga in 10 months. When we moved to Wake Forest in 2007, my cradle Catholic husband, Lou, automatically went to St. Catherine's. A cradle Methodist, I visited Wake Forest UMC. Though I grieved leaving my church in Maryland, this true church drew me in. The unique architecture, the choir that was twice the size of the last one I sang in, Alan's playing, the number of adult Sunday school class options were the first things that caught my attention. But the people and their commitment to God and each other is what kept me here. I can honestly say I've never been in a more mission-minded church. People here are truly committed to living out their faith through serving others. As you know, recently, Wake Forest UMC has packed meals for Rise Against Hunger, participated in Crop Walk, prepared agape boxes for the children in Armenia, and in just 2 weeks will welcome hundreds of people to Trunk or Treat. Since my first visit, I've sought ways to support the ministries and mission of this church, from financial giving and teaching Sunday school to singing in the choir, believe it or not, and serving in the United Women of Faith. Serving God at and through this church is a blessing. However, I never expected that we would be on the receiving end of this church's mission work. Over the past 2.5 years, poor circulation in Lou's legs kept wounds on his toes from healing, leading to the loss of part of his right foot and his left leg below the knee. Throughout this difficult time, we've been prayed for by friends and strangers, many of whom also sent cards with beautiful messages. People have called, texted, and/or visited, including Pastor Jim, whose first contact with us was even before his appointment had officially started. After Lou's leg amputation, we needed a wheelchair ramp so Lou could get into the house. With only 4 weeks to have one built, I contacted the United Methodist Men, and the ramp was built on December 10th, on a cold, gray day, just 4 days before his release from rehab. A few months later, I was physically and emotionally drained and was about to call Chris Harper when she called me and asked if we could use some meals. The result? 4 delicious meals, ample enough to provide dinner for 2 weeks. When Lou was ready to come to church, he decided to come with me because we have the best handicap accessibility. Along with everything I just mentioned, he has been so overwhelmed by the helpfulness and kindness of the people at church and the wonderful common ground food that we have each Sunday that he now calls himself a Methodist. He calls me a Metholic. Lou and I have experienced firsthand the power of being blessed by the prayers, presence, and service of this church. I can testify that the work done here matters. This is why I continue to joyfully give here. It is only through the support of all of us that Wake Forest United Methodist can keep on making a difference in the world. I thank you for blessing us, and may God bless you.